Entombed Valley for game number 3. Now, this is a lot on the line, guys, because whoever wins this game is guaranteed a spot at IPL6. They may or may not be paid, you know, all expenses and such.
But definitely the invitation will be there.
They will be able to attend. This will be huge for both players. Hanfy, of course, looking to make a name for himself. Targa, probably looking to prove himself. He's been in the scene for a long time, and this would be a great opportunity to go to a prestigious event and, you know, there further. Show that he's got the mettle it takes, man, to succeed in StarCraft 2.
The medal?
Yeah, M-E-T-T-L-E.
Oh,
it's
for some
like
reason I thought like
they say it's a word. Actually, I was looking it up the other day because I heard somebody use it, and I think just in the fact of looking it up, I started using it more. Because, like, I mean, imagine, you know, you read about a word for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to find its way into your vocabulary a little more often.
Subconscious.
But it's actually, it comes from people used to talk about their character and, like, showing your mettle. And saying you were like iron-hearted, you know. I think it was 1800s they were saying in the article that it was really frequently used. And since then, people have actually forgotten it was a word. That's where I saw it. I saw it on Reddit. Somebody was like, metal? That's not a word. And then somebody posted a link to it, and I was curious. Clicked on it, and was like, really?
The English vocabulary.
Always evolving, man.
So many words. But look at Hanfy, changing his gameplay up. 15 hatchery followed up into a pool right away. He's not going to deal with the gas shenanigans. Doesn't want to have any aggressive tendencies coming his way. And this is a real display here of how a build can force somebody to go to a different route. And this is how you get presence in your best of threes. So something to note there. Targa has effectively made Hanfy go for a little bit of a eco boost, and he actually decided to follow up into a gas into a pool here. So now he takes the lead in terms of having speed a little bit earlier than his opponent.
And we'll have to see. Hanfy, I think, just finished his gas there, does start munning. So he's only going to be about 40 gas behind, about 20 seconds on his speed, assuming both players start right when they should.
Both players will see each other. They know where they spawn now. Something curious is since EVZ, you don't actually send drones out to scout too often. Actually, pretty much never, unless it's like a really big map.
Yeah, 4-player maps, it's pretty tough. You can do it on the 2-player maps, so you want to go around the time when your Overlord spawns, depending on the size of the map. And that allows you to block 15 hatches. So smaller maps like Ohana.
Yeah, if you want to do it like that route. Yeah, true. You can always do that.
I actually do it pretty much every ladder map, so.
That's why you're better than me.
No, I just like, I really like messing with like builds. I found that this is actually like, if you guys, you know, you're in Diamond League or something, or even in Masters League, a lot of players have very specific builds, and I found that if you just disrupt it a tiny bit, suddenly they don't know what to do anymore. And
impromptu skills.
Yeah. Actually, Hatchery Evo blocked an expansion of a Zerg the other day, and
yeah, I was watching.
He took his expansion in the middle of the map on Daybreak. I was like, lols.
I was like, what are you doing, man? You're so rude. But yeah, you actually won that game because the Hatchery was way overextended. But nonetheless, Queens have been popping out. First Queen has popped out here for Hanfy, and he's actually chosen to go ahead and defend his ramp here. Always a nice little... you may throw off your index a little bit, but it's always safer to do this route. You have the queens there available in case you do have any of those speed aggression plays coming your way. And looking over into Targa, he is actually going for the standard here, bailing us as the natural.
And he canceled the Spine Crawler. Interesting choice there, because Hanfy poked him with some Zerglings, saw the Spine, saw the Baneling Nest. Zerglings were killed off, and then he cancels the Spine.
Yeah, that's true. That's almost 2 drones that you can have straight away to go ahead and pop on out. And
yep, he's making a lot of Lings right now, actually. Take a look at that.
Getting really aggressive. 2 Lings do pop in. See the queens on the ramp. Does not see Hanfy, though, having any units sitting outside of the natural, so it looks like he is joining up pretty heavily. Hanfy's actually going straight for a really quick lair.
And second gas goes down. This is getting pretty dangerous. Hanfy, I believe, also does not have a Spine Crawler. He does not. He has cut an incredible quantity of corners this game, and it may pay off in a very quick loss here against Targa, who's sending Speedlings across the map right now.
He's just droned 5 drones as well. He's trying to follow up into a double Spine Crawler. He's actually going to put it on the main. He knows he can't hold this natural whatsoever, so Target is rushing straight to his opponent. Oh, here's his 2 Spine Crawlers. Actually back here at the left. These Banelings are very close to finishing off, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and tag a couple of wings on top of them, but they will explode right away. I need to be a little careful there. Yeah,
so inefficient, though.
Just everything's just kind of exploding here.
Yep, there they go.
Banelings running straight on in, and it looks like he's bringing more Banelings as well. He should be able to break through these queens. Like, he's not even going to bother with the Spine Crawlers. He just wants to get into the main so he can deal with the drones right away. And there we go, finally bursting on through, but for the most part, a decent hold from Hanfy. Yep. He does save his drones, but Lings do scurry their way straight into the main, and it looks like he may have actually held this.
Yeah, he did. That queen with the units from Targa not actually getting into the main made it that he had to pull up the banelings on the queens because the spine crawler, simply put, would have killed everything of Targa. So overall, let's take a look at actually how both players are standing right now. We know Hanfy has his lair completed, he has his 2 gases in his main, and he's got some spine crawlers, which is going to be really nice if he decides to play defensively. Economically, he's also a little bit ahead right now, Tim, so he's up in tech. He's up in pretty much everything. A very impressive hold. The only thing he's lacking right now is queens.
Yeah, I wanted to point out to that really quick before these lings do come in. They look like they should be held off when these Bailings popping out. But for the most part, a lot of players now, a lot of pro players, when they do make those Bailings, they just go ahead and waste them on the queens because you have a lot of lings that are saved up that can fall up into the bane and do damage in the drone line. So, interesting choice there by Targa to go ahead and have the lings deal with the queens and then have his Bailings potentially get sniped off. That was just a little bit unfortunate, but again, it's another judgment call. He's made a lot of them in these games, and it's kind of hard to make those calls all the time. With that, he does have lings on the field, and they are actually rushing straight to the opponent base. Going to go ahead and go straight to Targa's natural, but he's really well fortified. He's got banelings on the natural ramp here. He's got a nice little wall off as well. Going to force the lings to come around and take a lot of damage before they even can put out damage. Targa just going to go ahead and use these guys and poke and make sure no third has gone up.
Exactly, and it was really smart out of Targa because he knows he sniped the queens of Hanfy, so Hanfy can't be pumping drones and lings right now. He's really got to pick between one of the two because of how many larvae he's cut on. So Targa says, hey, you know, I know you're probably droning right now. You're not making lings, so you're not going to have units. So if you try to take a third, I can definitely deny it. So he runs up there to make sure that there is no third. If there was, he would have forced to cancel with ease. And now he's just going to be taking out some rocks with those lings, so they will still be useful.
Trying to get in and get a scout on the main here. Needs to be a little careful with that changeling. Nice little micro here from Hanfy to get rid of it, but the Overseer just too darn quick. Does get in and sees everything. Does not see anything fishy. Be very happy with that scout. And Roach is now starting to pop out. He's going to go ahead and break off these rocks. He wants to get his third established here. He will have that +1 a little bit quicker than his opponent, as well as that speed. So overall, he's a little bit ahead in tech. He's going to have a nice defensive spot. I don't really think he wants to move out quite yet. We don't see a real huge influx in terms of overlords. But he is actually going for 11 roaches at the moment. So maybe he's going to move out after he gets that expansion here.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see what he decides to do with these because he is lined up right now for, you know, the Galil Reconstitution will allow him to move out across the map. By the time he arrives, he's almost going to have +1. It's going to be just a small difference. So Galil's done. Will Hanfy move out or will he stay put? We'll have to wait and see. Targa at home, he's already got his upgrades completed. He's in a great spot right now. His ability to reproduce actually because he, you know, had queens, whereas Hanfy didn't, really let him catch back up and maybe even pull a little ahead.
Well, Hanfy getting really aggressive. 7 overlords on the way, so he's going to pump roaches. And this hatchery essentially is a macro hatch that he can fall back to if he doesn't have damage to go ahead and start droning up really heavily here. He's actually cut it off at, it looks like 42 drones. And I recommend if you want to go for a long roach pressure, go for 42 to 45 drones and just have 3 gases up. And he actually has 4 up, so you may float a little bit on gas here to let him to fall up into a tech. But here we go. Roach is now moving across the middle of the map, and he's going to go ahead and straight the natural. And he actually may follow up some lings, get some more banelings as well, because he has so much gas.
Yeah.
If you're going to go for roach pressure, you need to stay with 3. But he's going to go ahead and keep moving forward. He's going to start poking down some creep tumors, it appears.
I really like this position for Targa. We've got a pressure, you know, coming out of Hanfy here, but Targa can hold this. He's got more than enough roaches to do it. He's got about 10 more roaches than his opponent. And Hanfy is not going for Infester behind this. He has no Infestation Pit, whereas Targa's is already completed. And he's going to start Pathogen Glands. In 30 seconds, we can see him pump out some Infestors. His position here is excellent. Now, Hanfy did complete his third and pumped out a quantity of drones, so he's up a little bit in economy, but that is 4 drones does not equal Infestor Tech and +2 on the way for your opponent.
Oh man, and we actually don't have an Infestation Pit. Yeah, you're right, from Hanfy whatsoever. And Targa, again, just going to have tech available a little bit quicker than his opponent here. +2, again, like mentioned by you, is going to be finishing up very soon. He should be heading straight into this third. It's a little bit hard to poke up this ramp, but you can definitely bait your opponent to come straight to your natural and defend a little bit quicker. He wants to get a concave in this situation here, where he can do a nice amount of damage if they do walk to that ramp. But it's going to be a lot of testing back and forth, a lot of flirtation until someone makes a mistake. But looking up into the top left over here, we're going to see if there's anything thrown up. Oh, it looks like some lings did make it in the main and did some drone kills.
3 workers killed throughout the course of this game for Targa and 0 for Hanfy, so not too much trading in deaths from these guys as of yet. Very little units lost tab, I do believe, as well. We're looking at under 2,000 for each player.
So roach on roach is a little bit hard to pull on this map to engage into. Yeah, again, it's just a lot of waiting back and forth. It winds up making a lot of passive play until you get those infestors out and you land a money fungal. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I kind of like lane pressure a little bit more. I find like myself, I can actually spread out a little bit and get packs of lings as the main and the natural. But again, that's kind of harder to pull off, especially against roach decks. So I can see the passive play and why it's happening, but it looks like Hanfy's going to go ahead and move into Hydralisk here. Yeah, just completely foregoing the whole Infestors.
Yep, and Infestors are going to catch everything for Hanfy. Targa dealing massive damage right now to these units. He's going to try to stutter step his way up, but this is going to be a disaster for Hanfy, who has just taken catastrophic losses. Targa is now going to be able to counterattack.
Yeah, really weird attack there, especially with them teching behind it into the Hydralisk with that +2 not being finished off. I mean, he knew his opponent was on +2, just really weird. I think he was trying to poke into the ramp and get a count of the roaches, but don't do it with a group of roaches like that. You need to only send 1 or 2 up to the front, and then from there you can get the information that you need. Huge mistake from Hanfy, and he might just pay for it. These roaches are just slithering their way across the middle of the map. A decent concave here for Hanfy, but he has +1 only and not +2.
Yeah, the concave is just not going to be enough there. We've also got more roaches for Targa than for Hanfy. Look at the quantity shifting, and suddenly Hanfy looking like he may not have a chance. But some Hydras are going to join the field. Look at that target firing out of Targa, though, taking down 2 Hydras from the back because they don't have grooved spines. Very nice play out of Targa, who looks like he may now secure his way to IPL6.
Yeah, really quick roach push, and that's it. Hanfy is going to be falling out of the semifinals here, down 2-1. Targa will be advancing to the finals.
That was a beautifully played game out of Targa, who was safe throughout every moment. Even when Hanfy was trying to line up his attacks, Targa had a response.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a lot of prodding back and forth, and he played the passive game correctly. He waited for Hanfy to make a mistake, pushing up that ramp with a flood of roaches, which at that point he has to fully engage or lose half his army. And he chose to fully engage. Unfortunately, the 2-0 was finished off for Targa at that point, and Hanfy unfortunately was a good 30 to 40 seconds away from even finishing his +2. He just didn't have the damage, and he really couldn't take that much damage from that many roaches that Targa had, because Targa had more roaches and the better upgrade advantage, and he had the fungals all available. He was just simply in a better position than Hanfy. So, big mistake there from Alien Invasion Hanfy, but again, made it pretty far in the semifinal, or to the semifinals in this EU
and he took
regional.
out some big names along the path.
I am now aware of who he is, and now from now on, and when I see him, I'm like, oh, I know Hanfy. He's an aggressive
2-0'd Snoot.
Yeah, man, he 2-0'd Snoot and a couple of other players. So, with that being said, guys, we're going to get ready for the other semifinals. I believe it is Live Zerg versus Dannywa.